Hello, hi there, Sagittarius. I hope that you're all gorgeous and well. My name is Bella, and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic. This is your love horoscope for February 2019. Breathe like that, Sagittarius, because the first thing my guys want to say, I guess maybe that's a real metaphor for that actually. There was a bit of a sigh of relief for some of you in February that things are going to get better, basically, when it comes to your love life. And I think if you inhale and then blow out, you'll know exactly that feeling. It's kind of like when your shoulders relax and you feel just everything go out. And I think you reach a moment of feeling a little bit more content than perhaps some of you have been feeling. Now, it's not been awful. I think a lot of you have been going through some independence. Most fire signs in particular last month was. And you've been doing your own thing. But I think you start the month in this way. You start the month being incredibly mindful that you need to now come back together. So this can be literal. You know, you could have been with somebody and you've had to have mentally some time apart for whatever reason, and now it's about trying to fix that back together, you know, now that you've come apart, you know, emotionally or mentally. For some of you, this could be literally that you've actually separated from somebody and it's in this time that you're ready now, and says the other person, you're both baked in the oven, you're both cooked. It's time for you to figure out how you get back together. And that's kind of starts your thinking process and then turns into actuality as you travel through the month, basically. Also, my guides are saying here that you have to probably think a little bit more creatively. Like sometimes when we go to fix things or get back together with somebody, whether, you know, you have to look at the varying degrees, because I'm not saying that most Sagittarius have separated. It could just be that you've just been doing your own thing, even if you're in a partnership and they've been doing their own thing. Sometimes we can fall into the trap of fixing things the old way. It feels like you have to be a little bit more creative in order for it to have the real kind of gusto and power that is needed to keep the flow of that relationship going forward, basically. If you're single, I would say that is more the mid-month to the end of the month, you'd have better luck making connections with people. But the same would be true for you in particular about having a different approach to how you date people. So, for example, if you're always meeting people online in a certain method, perhaps you should be changing it up, or keep it, but perhaps maybe where you meet, how you introduce yourself, how you question those people. Think about doing it differently. Don't use the same script because it doesn't seem to work as well for bonding people. If you'd like to know more about me and my services, just before I continue, the links are just down below, and I love to have people subscribe. I love for you to comment. I'm very, very grateful for everybody who's been so supportive so far. And I'm going to continue now looking at this week by week. So the first week, because of this kind of like need to kind of get back together, I get a lot of you being very aware of, you know, that perhaps it's been a certain way. So, for example, maybe the intimacy has just been gone for the last month. And you're like, okay, I'm ready for that to be back. How do I bring that back? Because we could be falling into a bit of a rut where that could continue, and I'm not happy for that to continue. And the first thing my guides are saying here is don't try to get that back in a manipulative way. Don't also try to get it back by trying to brush things under the carpet. Don't also try to get it back by withholding. You know, sometimes we can do things like, that person may say, oh yeah, let's do this, and you're like, oh well, because you haven't really talked to me for a month, I'm just not going to do it. Don't do anything like that. Do the opposite. Also, if you're a Sagittarius where actually you have had a split up and then somebody's coming back, or you're thinking about getting back with them, that the same would be true. Don't try to do it in a manipulative way. They're suggesting that directness is the best approach. So don't do things like, I want to get their attention by posting some sort of quotes on my Instagram page, or I want to get their attention by speaking to their best friend's friend to hopefully get them a message, or, you know, randomly on purpose, you know, turn up near where they work with the hopes of bumping into them. None of that kind of manipulative stuff. Direct. Be the bigger person, be the bigger man or woman, Sagittarius, because it worked better in your favor. But also there is an ask that in order to get what you want, to fix or to improve what was lacking, you have to give just as much as the other person. All right? And don't be afraid that if you're giving, that you won't get it back, because it feels very much that things will be mirrored quite a lot this month, but also that you are coming across as a Sagittarius quite powerful in your manifestation. So be aware of that, because if you think negatively or worry, it slows things down, or you could manifest it. So think more positively. So the first week, it feels like thinking leading to doing as we go into the second week. I feel for some of you Sagittariuses, you're dealing with partnerships where perhaps you broke up with them, or perhaps your partner, the reason why it's been quite difficult has been going through difficulties themselves. Sorry about that interruption. I was doing it in one take and then the postman comes late, actually, because it's quite late in the day for me. Anyway, what I was saying is you've got to be giving to get back, and also that it feels like the other person, partly why it went quiet, is because they've been going through a difficult time. They are ready now to be better and to engage more in you. And the suggestion would be doing fun stuff, like maybe not talk about what's gone wrong, why you've been quiet, if you've broken up. Again, not to dwell on the past, is to really enjoy the moment. Again, think creatively. So think about ideas and things that perhaps you haven't done before, haven't spoken about before, will really lift the mood. Some of you is going to be about planning things, so planning holidays, planning breaks away, planning to do something that celebrates things getting better or celebrates the way that you feel about that person, because it really will be the other way round. For some of you, it may not be you that needs to do the hard work or starts or initiates this. It could be the other way around, but because this is a general reading, I have to kind of be general about it. The good thing is with all of this, my dear Sagittarius, is that as you get to the third and fourth week, it's like that time period in January in particular never really happened. I get a lot of love being dished out both ways, which is really good, particularly if you've had a breakup. You want to have that sense of security sooner rather than later, and I have to say it comes in very much sooner rather than later. But whatever your circumstances, it's just better. I feel here that your intuition is very much on fire. This continuation of you being able to manifest positivity is incredibly high also as well. And I actually get a few time. It's in this time that you kind of get that all, so it's really lovely. And ironically, when I think about the timing of when this all starts to get better, happens to be obviously around when it turns Valentine's Day. So kind of look at that time period going forward, feels like that day, which can be a blessing or a curse depending on if you're single or not, seems to really feel good indeed. I get both of you putting in hard work. I don't see anything from that point on in February, from mid to the end. It's fine, really good, almost like January's independence or separation or dullness or stalemate or separation, whatever you want to call this, or singledom, just is no more. It's fine. And like I said, if you're single, third and fourth week, great times for you to be dating. Successful matches, also particularly around water signs, and I think air, but water signs coming up more importantly if you're single, for very, very good matches. So my dear Sagittariuses, it's a nice pleasant month where you're coming back together, and the simple guidance is to do it authentically, to do it directly, to do it without fear, but to be more creative around how you do it. Don't do it the same way, because you'll always get the same results, won't you? What you don't want to do is slow down the good stuff. Just get to the good stuff straight away by being direct. So sorry about the mild interruption, but I do hope that that's helped you today, dear Sagittarius, and I will be back next month with another reading. Again, if you'd like to know more about me and my services, the links are just down below. Take care, everybody. Bye.